America, sweetie, when will you stop trying so hard to become a religious theocracy? It's a discussion between common sense and fanaticism. That's all I can say. Fuck this shit and politics that tries to make us live in fucking misery. I am *P daughter, and I wish my mom would have aborted me before she was forced to have me. Yeah, I lived in poverty and my mom physically abused the shit out of me. I'm perpetually traumatized with no financial means to have a decent life now. But hey, at least some good law-abiding Christians feel morally good about themselves, yay. I made a post on this last year that got taken down because I was worried of how close the far right was getting. It unfortunately got taken down, as it was seen of no interest to those outside the US, and now shit has really hit the fan, so the conversations begins. Even though I'm from California, the state itself is not as progressive as some might think. Most of the state is red, my county including. My mom and her side of the family are very Catholic and anti-abortion, with my mom giving money to petitions throughout the years. I wouldn't doubt not just red states, but counties as well, to start closing women's healthcare clinics. The Christian community has quite a chokehold on a lot of hospitals as well. Street, this and Our Lady of Perpetual, that. It's truly, truly miserable. I'm angry at all the Democrats whom always cowered to Republicans. Trump really reaped the benefits, leaving with 3 appointed SC judges, the most since Reagan, the prodigal fuckhead. I'm too angry to write. Abortion isn't a legal issue. It's a medical issue. No one should be able to tell anyone what to do with their bodies. It's disgusting, and I'm scared about being a woman in this world right now. So many women are going to die unnecessarily because a minority of people believe something that hasn't even taken a breath yet is more important than a fully formed human being with thoughts and feelings and goals and love and family. I'm sad. I'm scared. I don't know how we got here. I am tired of supposedly pro-choice individuals making arguments for choice like, but what about rape, or qualifiers about abortion like, but not as contraception? No. You are being wishy-washy and undermining your own argument. Abortion for whatever reason and in whatever instance the woman sees fit. Full stop. I agree. No one asks people about their reasons for getting an appendectomy, do they? Abortions are healthcare too, and should be treated the same way. Only the woman having the baby and the person she is with should have a say. Everyone else should mind their own business. If she is alone, it is only her choice. I live in the UK, and seeing what's happening in America right now makes me so thankful for our healthcare system. Abortions are free. You can visit a medical center to get one up until the cut-off, which I think is 20-something weeks. If you know you're less than 10 weeks pregnant, you can contact the clinic for a telephone consultation and they will send you pills in the post free of charge. This is something that's recently been brought in, and I'm very glad they've decided to keep it running. Nobody should be forced to have a child against their will. Bye. Let's see. Doctors, good. Definitely good. Oh, and patients. You know, ladies, some people don't realize this, but when you have doctors, you might as well have patients. It just makes sense. So. Are we forgetting anything? I just don't know. Oh. I got it. We need to involve a bunch of politicians and judges and stateless bystanders. Phew. That was almost a catastrophe. We almost went with just doctors and patients. Can you imagine? Ladies, I will now accept your gratitude on behalf of all men. Not sure if I'm allowed to comment. Even as a man, I feel we shouldn't even have the right to vote on this. Not only on the legal part of the abortion but about everything on it. We literally don't have to bear any consequences of it. It isn't our body, our life, or our future. So why are we, men, even allowed to vote on something that only affects women? This is ludicrous and extremely sad. In my opinion, it's insane to propose taking away the right to choose. In wonderful rainbow-filled world, of course I would like for there to be no reason for an abortion. Unfortunately, that is not the world we live in. We live in a country where social services are overloaded and the healthcare system sucks. If we were to make abortions illegal, children will suffer in the system or worse. Women will be taken advantage of and fall ill. Makes me so sad. I'm afraid, honestly. My husband and I have decided we're done having kids. We have 2 daughters. I'm afraid for their future. I'm afraid that they will be forced to carry a child before they are ready for that. I don't want them in a situation they are not prepared for. I'm afraid that I will accidentally conceive another child. BC fails. I'm afraid I will miscarry. It's happened once before. And I will be jailed and invested for an already traumatizing experience. I want to leave the country. My thoughts are that anyone who doesn't think this is unambiguously awful for all people in the US should be banned from this subreddit. Letting a handful of old men control all women's bodies in the US is authoritarianism. Most of the legal analyses I've seen have said that gay and interracial marriage are next and it won't take no 40 years. I'm so scared after hearing this. Women are losing rights after fighting for them. I feel helpless. I've never needed an abortion but want the right to one. I want other women to have this right too. WTF is wrong with the US? I am going to donate money to National Network of Abortion Funds and ALCU. What else can I do to help? I am heartbroken. I knew this was coming but it's still a sad day. When I was 19 I had a missed miscarriage. My body didn't expel it so I had to take abortion drugs to expel it. I was only around 10 weeks but I did not want to carry a dead, unviable fetus around. The thought was unbearable. I can't imagine being further along. When I was 21 I needed an abortion. I was with an unsupportive and abusive partner who also did not want it. My best friend had claimed to be pro-choice but got extremely pro-life when she heard my decision. She was the only one I told I was pregnant. She told my mom who also got very hateful toward me. I am lucky I was able to get one and they had funding so I could afford it. My life has changed much since then and I'm forever grateful. I live in a state where abortion is explicitly legal but I fear it will be banned via legislation at a federal level. I fear for all of the other rights we enjoy due to what was our right to privacy. I've been extremely pessimistic about this country and this feels like this is it. I urge people to talk to their grandparents. My grandma was a social worker and is appalled at what is happening. I am deeply disturbed by what has passed. I fear for our long-term future. Losing this choice for women means law-making men have control over women's bodies in this country. I live in a state where this should not affect me, but for how long? I don't know. I'm saddened by the pain and death this will cause so many. My grandmother was an nurse in the US when abortion was illegal. She has stories of working to save lives of women who either tried and failed to self-abort or were butchered by doctors scamming desperate pregnant women. The women would come to the in serious, life-threatening danger. The docs could lose their license by helping a woman coming in with a botched abortion. So the doc would stand at the door and the nurses would call out what they were dealing with and the doc would talk them through procedures to try and save the women. My grandma had breakdowns from the hell of those days. And we all know healthcare workers are already burned out and exhausted. Now they are going to have to deal with this new reality. It's not just the women who will suffer. Anyone who cares about their lives. I'm Canadian and past childbearing age but I'm still absolutely horrified by this. If you're close to New Mexico, we have some of the most accessible and expansive abortion rights in the nation. Highly recommend looking into coming here if you need it. I'm 100% pro-choice. If someone doesn't want to have an abortion they don't have to have one but it is nobody's right to pass legislation telling someone what they can and cannot do with their bodies. Greater than pro-life equals I don't trust women to make their own choices. Greater than pro-choice equals I do trust women to make their own choices. If you want to make the choice of whether or not to terminate a pregnancy easier for women and their partners. Make maternal and paternal leave mandated by businesses so children can be brought into this world safely and with financial security and adequate care by both parents if applicable. Subsidize childcare so working parents aren't paying the equivalent of another mortgage or hire for their children to be cared for. Incentivize resources that allow women to retain their career advancement and status while raising families. Advocate for better women's health care, preventative care, access to contraception and fertility assistance. Most women in the U.S. who face infertility issues are also unsupported by our health systems and insurance. Reduce the cost of family health insurance so children have proper care after birth. Above all, give women's bodies respect, autonomy, and protection in all spaces. You can't call this a free country if there's no legal access to abortion. No one gets to use another person's organs without their consent. If my liver could save someone's life, and livers regrow, so I would almost certainly fully recover, it is still illegal and immoral to force me to let someone have a part of my liver. Even dead bodies have autonomy. If a person hasn't consented to it while alive, their organs cannot be used, no matter how many lives it might save. The same holds true for uteruses. No one gets to use them without the owner's permission, even a fetus. I'm so tired of this world and existing alongside these horrible people. Earth is becoming extremely exhausting. I'm just completely over everything. All I can say is I'm so glad I'm on birth control. How dare anyone tell women, or anyone with a uterus, what we can and cannot safely do with our bodies. I am completely disgusted. Doctor here, I have a bad feeling that abortion will only be available if you can pay good money for it in the future. My body, my choice. What happened to that, Republicans? They should mandate COVID shots and bring back masks. I think it's wrong that a few special people get to make the decision on whether or not Americans can have safe and accessible abortions. I feel that this is a humanitarian crisis. I think it's something that a woman and a woman only should have a choice in. This is equivalent to, grab her by the pussy. I'm tired. I've cried about this for years and I'm only 22. I'm terrified for my future as a woman in the United States. We are becoming barbaric. The older I get, the more rights I lose. Can't win, as the people of the United States don't get a chance to even vote on this, and it's a decision made by a couple of rich privileged shits. I'm not even American, but all women over the world should be alarmed. An attack on any of our sisters' rights is an attack on us as a whole. I believe abortion is healthcare and should be accessible to everyone, regardless of circumstances. If you want to get involved in a national activism campaign, reprojusticenow.org, http://reprojusticenow.org. If you need abortion pills, planchpills.org, http://planchpills.org. If you want to change things before we descend into fascism, socialism.com, http://socialism.com, radicalwomen.org, http://radicalwomen.org. There's no before, we're already there.